So here you can see on this section we've flood coated the existing roof with hot asphalt. So we just poured hot asphalt all over. You can actually see the line there where the old roof is, where the existing roof is without asphalt, and this flood coated area. And the reason why we do this is we want to thicken the old roof or the existing roof, and we also want a nice smooth work surface. The reason being is that some of the embedded gravel stays on the roof. We don't want to try to chip at that to try to get it away, because you can make holes in the old roof when you do that. So we flood coat it like this with very thick asphalt, takes away all the stones, like it brings the level of the actual roof up above the stones, the tar up above the stones, and makes a smooth work surface. Now we can add another layer of hot asphalt, roll our reinforcement material into it, and then a flood coat of hot asphalt after that. So let's take a look at the guys putting on the reinforcement material. So here we have the guys putting on a layer of Polera, which is the reinforcement on top of the flood coat that you see here. And you can check out the other videos on actually how Polera is installed. But all we do is put down hot asphalt and roll the polyester into it. And the one thing, polyester was actually designed by the Hageman Roofing Company out of New Jersey for this exact application. So what happens when it gets hot, like when you put hot asphalt down and you roll polyester into it, the polyester absorbs the hot asphalt, becomes very supple and liquid-like, so it adheres to all if there are any small bumps in the roof, it adheres to those small bumps and creates a perfect seamless resurfaced roof system. So after this is installed like this, all the rolls get installed, then we flood coat, which means pour another layer of tar over the entire roof surface, and that's where we get the seamless roof system, because once we pour that flood coat, the seams disappear. It's all one piece once that top flood coat is poured out. So here you can see the guys pouring the hot asphalt out on the top of the Polera reinforcement after the Polera is installed. That's called a flood coat. That's called actually a final flood coat. And what that does is, you can see Polera comes in 3.5 foot roll widths. So there are actual seams when we're putting it down. There's seam here, seam here, seam here. But as you can see the seams here on the Polera before it's flood coated. But you go seam, 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 and once it hits the hot asphalt, the black part, the seams disappear. And that's why we call it a seamless roof system, as when you pour the hot asphalt out on the final flood coat, it takes away all the seams. The seams are actually virtually undetectable once we actually pour the flood coat of hot asphalt on. And remember, Polera absorbs hot asphalt from the bottom, from the top. When you roll it out and you put it on the bottom, about 50% comes through. Well, this is the flood coat, takes care of the other 50%. So the Polera is fully engulfed in hot asphalt. So now the Polera is one with the hot asphalt, reinforcing it and making it strong. And that's what you see here. So the next step is to put the gravel sunscreen on the top of this flood coat once it hardens. So around pipe penetrations, before we put the gravel on after the roof is flood coated, we take a cold mastic, and we have only 2 approved cold mastics. One is by a company called Lucas, and it's Lucas Elite. The next one is our Bulldog caulking. And the reason why we only choose these 2 are really the only 2 that we've found that have genuine 400% stretch. And that's a really big deal, because you get a lot of movement around pipes. And a lot of caulkings out there can crack, but because this has 400% stretch, it actually has more stretch than the roof, so it will not crack over time. So we use Lucas Elite or Bulldog caulking only, and what we do is we take the caulking, we put it around the bottom, very thick around the bottom of pipes. This is on either resurfaces or new retrofits, so all the way around the bottom like that. And then, if you have a gap at the top, you also put it at the top too. So we go around, we check all the areas that water can get in, even at roof level and above, where water can, wind-driven rain can get water inside. So we caulk all the pipes, curbs, air conditioners, everything gets mastic, just for a secondary protection against water infiltration into our Toughroof systems. So as you can see here, we have the final flood coat on our resurface project completed. And what the final flood coat does is it creates a seamless system, and that's the whole premise behind our Toughroof systems. Once the final flood coat's on, it takes away the seams in the Polera, It creates a seamless roof system. So from that end to that end, this roof is one big black hot asphalt seamless roof system. So next, we do need a sunscreen on all of our asphalt systems. So this one is getting regular 3/8 pea stone gravel. So let's take a look at the roof after the gravel's been installed. So as you can see, the gravel has been applied to the roof system and our metal edge flashings have all been installed. So what you're seeing here is the completed project, the resurface project that we've finished here. Now, resurfacing is a good option for businesses for a few reasons. Well, first, it's good. It's a little easier on the environment because we're not throwing out the existing roofing materials and filling up the landfills. And it's also good for the business's bottom line because you don't have to buy all new materials when you throw out all those existing materials. So it saves a lot of money for the business. And it also makes a really good roof. Our resurface roofs have the same warranty as if we were to remove everything and install all new materials. That's how much we trust in our resurface projects. They come with our ultra long warranties, just like if you were to completely redo your roof. There isn't a difference in the warranty length. What we found over the years, we've been doing this a long time, and if you don't take the steps that I've shown you in this resurface video, the exact steps on how to clean the roof, prime the roof, apply the hot asphalt and the polyester rolls. If you don't take every step and do it properly, the roof will not stick to the existing roof. Water will get underneath the two layers and it will leak prematurely. But if you take all the steps, do them properly, this roof can last just as long as installing a brand new roof system. So resurfacing is a good option, but beware that over the years, we've found the only true resurfacing reinforcement material is polyester. You cannot use the regular traditional paper because it doesn't have the elasticity. As if the old roof has any movement in it, it will break. You can't use modified bitumen because it will not adhere to any small imperfections in the roof. You can only use polyester because when polyester becomes saturated with hot asphalt, it adheres to all the small imperfections in the roof surface, the bumps, and then you can make a nice smooth flood coat. But you can only use polyester for a resurfacing project. It's the only product you can truly trust. So give us a call. We'd love to give you a price on a resurfacing project.